Okay, we have come to the end. Seventh round, last Vikings pick is coming up here in moments. Once the Colts get through with theirs, then the Vikings have one. I want Kwesi to trade pick 222 to Atlanta because they have picks 224 and 225. I wanted to make that trade just for the laughs. I don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be funny if it did. All right, the Colts are picking, so then it'll be us for the last pick of the draft. A draft that, I might do the wrap up here as part of this. I'm a little mixed on it. More than in past years, and there have been some draft picks over the past years, even years doing this, where I've been very, very high on the pick, and then it flopped. Although I was right about Kellen Mond, I didn't like that pick when they made it. So next up, Vikings here. I would say the big area that maybe we didn't do anything with yet as a linebacker. We could still use another linebacker, although that's kind of a devalued position these days. But we still can maybe use another one. I wouldn't be totally surprised. I don't know. Who knows what we're gonna do? I know we're not gonna take another quarterback, and I don't think we would take a running back. We could maybe take a receiver. I don't know if there's like a center out there that they think could be something. Of course, there's gonna be all sorts of the undrafted guys coming in, tonight, tomorrow, rest of the weekend here. Because we've got a lot of roster spots left in some positions that a guy, even an undrafted guy, is going to really have a chance. And every year there's a couple. Every year there's a couple of undrafted guys who make the team. Obviously Adam Thielen, recent example of that. So, all right, Vikings pick is in. I don't know if they're gonna actually announce it. They're not really announcing them at this point. I haven't even been watching for like about 2 hours because I don't care who all gets picked here. Packers took a quarterback, so they finally have their quarterback of the future. So good for them. So we'll see what happens.
Did you see your guy Ricky Ronnie put 3 guys
so, I'll say we take a linebacker. On this one.
Ronnie, I tell you, was at Penn State, so you had that familiarity. You bring him there. Then he got the injury. But as Lewis said, when you are that gifted and you're that kind of target, he only averaged like 9.5 a catch when he had those 73 receptions 2 years ago. Zach Kuntz started his pro career with the Jets.
I thought they were going to actually show it announced on the podium. I don't know if they're even doing that anymore. No, we got to talk about the Colts pick. Most of these, they end up doing a little highlight package after the fact. I really like this D tackle we got from LSU. I really like that guy, and I think this quarterback we took might be okay. Okay, here's the pick. Here's the pick. The last pick of Kwesi's second draft. 7th rounder, and we have taken. We have selected. Oh, we took a running back. We did take a running back. DeWayne McBride from UAB. There we go. Another 3 letters. I think that's it. Every draft pick was a 3-letter school. USC, LSU, BYU, UAB. If you have a fully spelt out name, school name, we don't have any time for you. So that might be a record. Maybe that was just to say that he did it. So DeWayne McBride, good running backs, led FBS and rushing per game last year. That's not bad. I mean, we don't need a running back. I don't know what that means for like some of the guys we've got now, like the younger guys. Obviously, like Madison's going to be here. Dalvin Cook, I still don't think is going to be here. I think they are going to just move on from him. And I was very high on Ty Chandler off the draft last year. He barely got to play. And then Wongwu's, of course, been a pretty good return guy. So DeWayne McBride, running back. So that's it. So that's those are our 6 guys. So just a little wrap up here. I'm mixed on this draft. I mean, I am. I really wanted to heavy focus on defense, and they did draft defense. But they didn't draft a defensive player until the very last pick of the 3rd round. I like the guys they took on defense. I like the Blackman pick. I really like, and after the fact, like I do the live reaction, then they talk about him and I read stuff about this Jay Ward that we got listed as a safety. He might be a little more of a kind of jack of all trades type. Sounds like he might play in the slot. So he might have a chance to be the new slot corner because I know Chandon Sullivan's out. Actually, Chandon Sullivan just signed with Pittsburgh just today. And I don't know who he had penciled in for that, so he's going to have a shot for that. But I know Brian Flores likes that. He likes guys who can play multiple ways, multiple positions. So that's definitely a Flores pick. And then the defensive tackle Jaquelin Roy. I really like that. And then so you see the highlights. They always look good in the highlights. That's where they get you. But it sounds like he can be a real beast. Like he can be not just like a run stopper, but maybe even really good off the edge. So he can be a real weapon. We've had success drafting LSU guys in the low round before, so we'll see. So like those 3 picks in the middle, I really like. And I think all 3 of those guys are going to have a real shot to play and play a lot. Obviously, going back to round 1, Addison. I think he's going to be good. I just didn't feel like receiver was that level of need over defense. And maybe I'm just a bigger believer in KJ Osborne than the coaches are, and obviously they know more than me. But I think this offense will be, I think Addison will probably be a productive player. Will he be? I mean, can he be Thielen? Can he just be the new Thielen? We'll see. I mean, if he matches that, like the level of production that we got from peak era Adam Thielen, I mean, it's a great pick. Or if he can be like a Percy Harvin type, he was drafted in a similar spot in the draft, then it's a really good pick. I mean, we've drafted bust wide receivers, Troy Williamson, Laquan Treadwell, but everybody has. I mean, that's not unique to the Vikings. I hope he really works out. And obviously, O'Connell believes that he can really be a major weapon. I mean, he comes from the Rams, where they had all sorts of guys. They were just throwing receivers out all over the place and just killing people. So, it wasn't the pick I would have made for sure. I would have just hit defense because I don't really have any doubts about the offense. And actually, the way it works out, we actually drafted as many guys on offense as defense in this draft, which is very surprising. But those middle 3 picks, the defense I really like. You see some of the highlights now. This quarterback, Jaron Hall. Like, it's tantalizing. I don't dispute that it's tantalizing, and I can see the appeal of of a guy like O'Connell seeing this guy and seeing a lot of raw talent, and thinking that you can mold him. I mean, right before he was picked, they were having a big segment talking about Brock Purdy, and everyone's looking for the new Brock Purdy. Maybe this guy could be the new Brock Purdy. I think one of the guys even said this was like his pick, he could be the next Brock Purdy. Well, that's great. I mean, if he can, I mean, I think people got a little overexcited about Brock Purdy. Okay, he was kind of like a caretaker guy. He wasn't leading the charge. We want a guy. If this guy's the future quarterback of the Vikings, you want him to be more of a, you know, the guy, not just like a passenger. But you know, it looks like he's surely got some abilities. He's a dual threat guy. He can run. I guess he's got a pretty decent arm. I guess he did like a 2-year church mission or something, and that's why he's in the draft at 25 years old. People get really hung up on that. I didn't want Hendon Hooker, but people were like obsessing over the age. It's like, okay, maybe like if, let's say he pans out and you get him for 12 years instead of 15. I mean, it's still worth the pick if it works out that way. So I think what'll be interesting to see is you know, what this guy can do right away. Can he come right in and compete for QB2 and get Nick Mullins out of here? I mean, you know, it's going to be. I don't think they're going to be like rushing to get rid of Nick Mullins, but you know, if he's good and they like him, you know, I would think they would give him a shot. I mean, like Kellen Mond when he was drafted, I think he would have been given a chance to be QB2, but he was fucking terrible. You know, and again, just like with the wide receivers, we drafted bust, it doesn't mean this guy's going to be. Just because we drafted Kellen Mond a couple years ago, completely different front office. It doesn't mean that it's going to be that Jaren Hall is going to be Kellen Mond Part 2. I highly doubt it. So I guess I'm okay with the pick. I would not have. I feel like it's kind of a wasted pick because I just don't. I don't see why this guy is going to be like the QB of the future. I know we're going to see it. We're going to hear it from certain media outlets. They're going to be trying to like push Jaren Hall as the starting quarterback of the Vikings probably this season. Like they're gonna, if Kirk has one bad game, they're gonna be like, it's time to move on and put Jaren Hall in the game, and it's gonna be really irritating, and it's gonna happen, and it's gonna annoy me. But you know, again, I think you know, O'Connell, I trust O'Connell that he sees something in this guy that can be molded into something. You know, obviously, if he just ends up being like a backup type quarterback, then it's not a good pick because you can just get a backup quarterback anywhere. It's not hard. And then, you know, the pick we just had, who knows, you know, I haven't been able to read up or see anything on this guy yet. But, you know, he's got a shot. He won't have a place on this team if we keep Dalvin Cook, because we're not going to keep, you know, we're not going to keep 4 running backs plus CJ Ham and this guy. So I don't know if, you know, if and we've got a return guy in Wongwu, so this guy might just be like a destined for a practice squad or something like that. But and then we'll have the undrafted guys coming in, and there's always a couple of those guys who make the team at just about every year, and some of them really stick for a while, like an Adam Thielen. Obviously, you don't expect an Adam Thielen level career from these guys, but I would think anybody who's like, you know, we didn't draft a linebacker, so I would assume we're going to be picking up a couple linebackers. We didn't draft like a true edge rusher, so we might get somebody like that. We didn't draft any offensive line. We didn't draft an offensive lineman. When was the last time the Vikings didn't draft an offensive lineman? That'll have to look up. That'd be an interesting one to find out. But yeah, we didn't draft an offensive lineman, so maybe we'll be going after like a guard or a center. I don't think we really need much for tackles. I mean, but and you know, we didn't draft a tight end. I don't know that we need one. I mean, we did sign the guy from Baltimore to not replace Irv Smith specifically, but just to have as a tight end, and maybe a receiver. You know, we'll see. We'll see these names. I won't recognize any of them unless they sign a Gopher or something. A couple Gophers did go in the draft, but that center. I know we had that center. I forget who drafted him. I think it might have been the Giants who drafted him. But so, you know, draft grades, all that. I give it like a B- for this draft. I'm not crazy about usually I'm higher on the draft when it happens, and I'm not always right. Um, but yeah, I'm a little mixed on the draft just because I feel like, and maybe it was. I mean, of course, if you look at this draft from the standpoint that one of our draft picks was T.J. Hawkinson, and that one of our draft picks was Caleb Evans, then it looks a little better too. But with the guys we got, you know, we got some guys who can play. It's just I'm not totally convinced we were picking the right spots. But I definitely think the team got better. We got more talent on defense, and we got and we did get another weapon, another potentially big weapon on offense. And maybe we've got a quarterback who can develop into something. I don't think this guy's going to be able to be like the 2024 starting quarterback. I think that's going to be wildly optimistic for anyone to think that. But at least we drafted a quarterback, so I don't have to fucking hear about, oh, they didn't draft a quarterback. They're afraid. They're afraid to draft a quarterback. They're afraid to upset Kirk. All these stupid narratives that I keep hearing. But so that's it for the draft. And obviously that's it for the Vikings for now, other than the undrafted. And maybe they'll, there's still a chance that sometime in the offseason there's going to be a Dalvin Cook move or a Zadarius Smith move. But other than that, this is kind of it until training camp. It's we got a nice whole spring and summer almost to go before that happens. But I think Kwesi did a solid job with this draft, and especially those middle picks on defense, because boy, do we need defense. We still need defense. I don't even know what free agents are still out there. If we got any cap space left, go get it. So we still need to go get a couple guys to help us out. But so that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. But I wish all the new Vikings the best, and I hope we're 6 for 6 with drafting studs.